humor reliably, and I've never seen such happy manners.
He's also handsome, which a young man should be if he can be. Thereby, his character is nearly complete.
I was very flattered when he asked me to dance the second time. I didn't expect such a compliment.
You didn't?
No, not at all.
Well, that's one difference between you and I. Compliments always take you by surprise. Me, never. What else would be the natural thing than him asking you to dance the second time?
Oh, I don't know.
He couldn't help seeing that you were 5 times prettier as any other woman in there. He certainly is very agreeable. I give you leave to like him. You liked a much stupider person.
Lizzie!
Tendency to like people in general. You never see a fault in anybody. The whole world is good and agreeable in your eyes, and I've never heard you speak bad about anyone in my life.
Well, I would wish not to be hasty in censoring anyone, but I do speak what I think.
I know you do, and it is that which makes me wonder.
Wonder what?
With your good sense to be so honestly blind to the nonsense of others. You like this man's sisters too, do you? Their manners are not equal to his.
Certainly not at first, but they're very pleasing women once you get to talk to them. Miss Bingley is to live with her brother and keep his house. I'm much mistaken if we shall not find a charming neighbor in her.
Believe me, my dear Elizabeth, that your modesty, so far from doing you any disservice, rather adds to your other perfections. You would have been less amiable in my eyes had there not been this little unwillingness. But let me assure you that I have your respected mother's permission for this address. Hold on. I have it here. Just gotta As soon as I entered the house, I singled you out as the companion of my future life. But before I am to run away with my feelings on this subject, perhaps I should state my reasons for marrying. First, I think it's right for every clergyman, in every easy circumstances, like myself, to set the example of matrimony in his parish. Secondly, I am convinced it'll add very greatly to happiness, and thirdly, it is the particular advice of recommendation of the very noble lady whom I have the honor of calling Prejudice. The very night before she said, "Mr. Collins, you must marry. A clergyman like you must marry. Choose properly for my sake and for your own. This is my advice." Thus much for my general intention in favor of matrimony. It remains to be told why my views were directed to Longbourn instead of my own neighborhood. The fact is, I am to inherit this estate after the death of your honored father, and I couldn't satisfy myself without resolving to choose a wife from among his daughters, so the loss might be as little as possible when the event takes place. This has been my motive, my fair cousin. On that note, I shall be uniformly silent, and you may assure yourself that no ungenerous reproach shall ever pass my lips when we are married.
You forget that I have made no answer. Accept my thanks for the compliment you are paying me. I understand the honor of your proposals, but it's impossible for me to do otherwise than decline them.
It's usual for young ladies to reject the addresses of a man they secretly mean to accept. Sometimes a refusal is placed by a second or even a third time. I am by no means discouraged by what you have just said, and shall hope to lead you to the altar.
I assure you that I am not one of those young ladies, if such a lady exists. I am perfectly serious in my refusal. You could not make me happy, and I am quite convinced that I would not make you happy.
He was totally ignorant of me being in town last spring. I didn't believe it was possible.
I suspected as much, but how did he account for it?
It must have been his sister's doing. They certainly didn't enjoy his acquaintance with me. But when they see, as I hope they will, that their brother was happy with me, they will learn to be contented. And only then will we be on good terms, though never what we once were.
That's the most unforgiving speech I've ever heard you make. Good job.
Oh, Lizzie, why am I thus singled from my family and blessed above them all? If only I could see you this happy. If there was such another man for you.
You could give me 40 such men. I would never find as much happiness as you.
And why is that?
Oh, I have your disposition, your goodness. I can never have your happiness. Perhaps I have good luck. I may meet with another Mr. Collins.
Collins?
No, I'm Darcy.
Collins, why are you wearing a name tag that says Darcy?
Because I'm calling Darcy. Darcy.
You're Collins, not Darcy.
I think Darcy would know if he's Darcy. I'm Darcy.
You're Collins.
No, I'm Darcy.
You're crazy.
I'm Darcy.